Hello, Global Changemakers. It is an absolute privilege for me to have you guys on the other side of the screen here today, coming to learn about decision making. So big thank you. Now, I'm Jono. I am the founder of Team Improvus, a business psychology consultancy. And if you did want to find out a little bit more about me, then feel free to head over to www.teamimprovus.net. But let's focus right in on decision making. Now, the topic is vast. We could do a whole full day video on decision making and just scratch the surface of the subject. So in our short space of time together, I've just teased out a couple of different components of it, just an introduction. So firstly, we're going to be looking at what is a decision, and then we're going to look at why make decisions. And then lastly, we're going to explore decisions that we've made in the past, some that we've regretted, some that we're proud of. And then we're going to look at those and say, okay, what lessons can we take from that and how can we apply that into our lives today? Brilliant. Now, the first step that we're going to do here is we're going to practice some decisions. And so what I'd like you guys to decide is if you'd rather stretch or meditate. Awesome. Now, we're going to take 45 seconds to either stretch or meditate, whichever one you chose. I'm going to stretch, and feel free to do whatever you'd like. Brilliant. Thank you for either diving into stretching or meditating, whichever one you did. Now, the next decision I'd like you to make is to choose between any one of these mystery boxes that I've laid out for you guys. Now, I'm going to turn over these mystery boxes later on in the video, and each of them is associated with a different task that you guys will have to do. But you have no idea which one it is, so please just take a moment now to choose whichever one of those you want, A, B, C, or D, and just note that down either in your head or on a piece of paper. Brilliant. Okay, now the last question I'd like to ask you guys to do right now to decide on is which of these pizzas would you like to eat right now? So just take a moment to look at all the different alternatives, all the different options in this, and then choose that pizza that most tickles your belly right now. Wonderful. Thank you for diving into those different decisions. Now, coming back to that first question, what is a decision? Well, as you will have gathered, a decision is making up one's mind. It's selecting an option from two or more alternatives. And you've already practiced this today. 3 different decisions that I've given you. And as you saw from those, some of those are simpler than others. Those first one, stretch or meditate, was very clear, 2 defined options. But more often than not, our decisions in real life have so much mystery involved with them, so much uncertainty, so much improbability, who knows what's going to happen. And then also our life isn't black and white, but oftentimes there's so many different alternatives, so many different options like we saw on the pizzas there. It's not black and white, it is a field of gray that we're trying to navigate. So the first piece of advice that I'd like to give you guys is to be a Satisficer and not a maximizer. Now, a Satisficer and a maximizer, these are terms that come from the work of Professors Schwartz and Ward, who looked at happiness, life satisfaction, and decision making. And these 2 different terms reflect the different mindsets that we have, you and I, as we make decisions. So a maximizer is someone who's trying to find that perfect solution, that perfect decision, the ideal. And what they do in that situation, what we do in that situation, is we research all the different options. We have all the different alternatives. We gather the data, gather all of the information that we can so that we can figure out what that perfect solution is. But the more we do that, and the more effort we put into that, the more time we put into that, the more that we realize that there's no single perfect solution. It is elusive. It's like looking for that needle in a haystack. So this brings us to a satisficer. And this comes from the word satisfy and suffice. What we're going for here is excellent enough. We want to do enough research, enough data gathering, enough alternatives to understand excellent, what is a good enough option, but not to keep on going until we just, get lost in that stream of different decisions. And so that's what it means to be a satisficer, is just to have that attitude of excellent enough in our decisions. Wonderful. Okay, now we're going to go on to the second component of this video, and that is why make decisions. And to start, I'm just going to let you guys reflect on that in your own space, just for a couple of moments. So why make decisions? Awesome. So welcome back. So why make decisions? Well, for me, I understand that my life is the fruit of all of my decisions. And whatever life that is that you're trying to build, whatever that dream is, it's through our decisions, it's through our choices that we get there. And so the analogy that I love to use for this is just understanding our life is like a mosaic, and each of those choices, each of those decisions is a piece of that. Or as you can see from this image that I've got here, it's the pixels, it's all the little pieces of who we are. And I want to be the architect. I want to be the designer. I want to be the architect of my life. And I want to decide where I'm going and how I get there. Wonderful. So the second piece of advice that I'd like to give to you guys today is to make decisions and don't be a drifter. Don't let those decisions pass you by. Don't let life or other people or other things make those decisions for you, but take control and make those decisions. Brilliant. So the final component of this video is an exercise that you and I are going to do together. And it's an exercise where we're going to look at our past decisions, ones that we're proud of and ones that we regret, so that we can draw some lessons from those and apply that into our decision making today. But the first step I need you guys to do is to go grab yourself a piece of paper and a pencil, or grab your computer, just something to write some stuff down on. So go ahead, pause the video if you need to do that, but if not, let's crack on. So welcome back to anybody that has gone to get something. So the first step in this exercise that I'd like you to do is just to write down 5 to 10 different decisions that you've made that you regret. So go ahead and do that, and I'll be doing it here as well. Wonderful. So the next step here that I'd like to ask you guys to do is just exploring those different decisions that you wrote down that you regret. I'd like you to explore why you regret them. What's going on behind the scenes? What are the reasons that you regret those decisions? And again, handing it over to you guys for a couple quick moments to do that, to reflect on that, and then we'll come back together. Okay, welcome back. So we're now just going to contrast this with the decisions that we're proud of. So the exact same steps, what I'd like you guys to do to start off with is just to write down 5 to 10 different decisions that you've made that you're really proud of. So again, handing it over to you guys, go ahead and do that in your own space. Excellent. Now, again, same step. So just explore those different decisions that you're proud of, those 5 to 10 that you have on your piece of paper, and explore why are you proud of them? What are the reasons? What's going on behind the scenes that make you proud of those decisions? Dreamy. Okay. So the last component of this exercise is now bringing those two together and saying, what can I learn? What lessons can I learn from the decisions that I regret and the decisions that I'm proud of? Do you notice any themes, any patterns? What can you tease out of this that you can say, okay, I'm going to apply that into my life today? So again, back over to you guys. Take a quick moment to think about that, and then we will come back together and explore that together. Wonderful. So thanks for diving into that exercise. And I wish that I could hear what you guys learned, so that we can build that together and we can understand more about how to make decisions today that we're really proud of. But instead, what I'm going to do is share what I know from the research and from my own experience as to why we regret and why we're proud of decisions, and then what lessons we can learn from that. So the reason that we regret decisions is that we make them for the wrong reasons. We know better. And so what happens is we have all of these different influences that are coming in and shaping our decisions. Different voices that we're hearing from friends, from family, from the larger society as well, just saying, okay, this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do. Then we have these fears that we have as well, different emotions that we have going on within us that affect us. Fear of failure or fear of ridicule. And so we don't make those decisions in the way that we know is right for us. And that's why we can end up regretting some of our decisions. Now, if we contrast that with decisions that we're proud of, those are the ones that we still get all of those same influences from our friends, from our family, and those same fears, but we understand all of those and we still make the decision for the right reason. Something that resonates with us. We choose the alternative, we choose the option that resonates with us. That's genuine, that's authentic to who we are. Excellent. So this is the final piece of advice that I'd like to give for you guys today. Let's make decisions for the right reasons. Make decisions for the right reasons. So that's us. That's our video today. So for just a really brief recap, there's 3 things that we learned. Firstly, what is a decision? A decision is making up one's mind. It's selecting an option from 2 or more alternatives. And why make decisions? That was the second thing we looked at. Well, we have to understand that our life is the fruit of all of our different decisions. And so we want to be the architect of our own life. We want to make those decisions. We want to make those choices so that we can live that life that we want, that we choose. And then finally, we looked at learning from our own experiences, learning from decisions that we've made, and applying those into our lives now. And we want to make those decisions for the right reasons. Awesome. Going to leave it there. Wishing you guys an absolutely wonderful day full of joy and warmth. And it was an absolute privilege to have you guys on the other side of this screen. All right. See you later.